One of my favorite things in Schoology is the media albums. I think it's a really underused tool. So I'm just going to go through a couple different ways that media albums can work. So one of the ones as an English teacher is just getting feedback from peers. And so what I really like is like when we're doing like short answers, instead of making it where I have to look at every single question and what every single student's posting, have students instead go ahead during their short answer when they write and they annotate, they take a picture, they upload it to a media album, and then they're responsible for going in and also commenting on other people's questions. So that way they can get back feedback on whether or not they're doing something right or wrong. And it gives them really quick feedback before they do something that they're going to turn into me. Another thing that I really like to do is things that, especially for historical narratives of historical fiction, is teaching students about the time periods without lecturing them. So I like to do pictures where students put down things that they notice and then they put down things that they're able to infer. So this is some examples of pictures from Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry era, which is set in 1930s, Jim Crow era Mississippi, and Dust Bowl, the Depression, as well as Jim Crow era information that students don't really know about. So they get to kind of explore that before we begin reading a historical text, and that way they have a little bit of understanding on it before. Another thing to do is for lit circle groups. That's pretty good. Is I do book talks, or you can have it where there's actual videos, but I like to do book talks because I think that really translates well to the kids. So during dystopian literature circles, I want students to be able to choose the book that they most interest them. So going ahead and saying, okay, the first 6 people to sign up for Uglies will get Uglies, and the first 6 people to sign up for Matched will get Matched. And so it kind of helps me do my grouping for things like lit circle groups and other things where there's specific topics already at hand. Another thing I think is really important is you have all these amazing anchor charts all over the room, and just take a picture with your cell phone and upload it on the Schoology app and make a place just for you as a teacher to post all those anchor charts throughout the year. That way students can use it as a resource whenever they're at home. And I think that's a pretty snazzy thing to do to really kind of support that online at home learning or students who are sick. And then another thing I like to do is I like to grammar can be boring, so I always like to use memes with it. So having students go and either create their own memes or comics or post the comics and then explaining why. So this one is the stop clubbing baby seals. And so the question that they would need to answer, as a warm up or as a closure activity or something like that would be, why is this sentence here meaning seals on a dance floor? What is it in this comma that does that? And so it's just a really kind of fun way. And I have students contribute to it too. And we actually have like a little allot is our mascot. If you don't know anything about the allots, they're pretty good when you put an allot as one word. And it's a great thing to look up online. It's real fun. So anyway, that's just a couple of things you can do with media albums, specifically in the ELA classroom, but I think there's a lot more that you can also use for other content areas. And I just really like media albums because I think that it's cool for students to create and then share. And I think that's an important part of 21st century skills.